Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to the video, and today I want to talk about games that deserve a remake. So I know we've had games like Dead Space that have been remade, and we've also had The Last of Us, which is The Last of Us Part 1, which is a remake of the original, but these games, they're not that old. I feel like they didn't deserve remakes. These are games that I feel like deserve remakes. Coming in at number 1, we have Star Wars Republic Commando. I feel like Star Wars Republic Commando definitely deserves a remake. This was one of the first games that I played on my original Xbox, and I absolutely loved this game. This game was probably one of the first games that I played alongside Halo, and it got me into first-person shooters. I think my first 3 games that I ever actually played were Halo, the first one, and then you had Star Wars Republic Commando and Call of Duty 3. Those are like my first 3 first-person shooter games that I ever played that I can remember. And Star Wars Republic Commando is such a great game from what I can remember. I even bought it on PC recently just to play it, but the controls and the gameplay are just super outdated at this point, and so are the graphics. The graphics are definitely outdated, and I remember having a great time playing through the campaign, and I also played a lot of the multiplayer too, and the multiplayer was a lot of fun, and I put in a lot of time on this game growing up, and it's the first time that you play as a stormtrooper from what I know of, other than the Battlefront games, and so I would love to see this game come back with its original campaign and multiplayer. I feel like it would be such an awesome time to see this one back. The next game I want to talk about is Assassin's Creed, the game that started it all. I know we're getting Assassin's Creed Mirage this year, but nothing hits better than the original Assassin's Creed. Nobody knew what Assassin's Creed was going to be. We didn't know it was going to be this giant franchise now that we have. And we get to play as Altair again. I would love to play as Altair again. I feel like going through the original story again and just reliving the first game would be such a fun time. I recently just went back and played through Assassin's Creed 2, and I plan on playing the rest of the Ezio collection and Black Flag, and it would be awesome to just have a remake of the first game. I feel like it definitely deserves it, and it's been a long time. The graphics are outdated, and this is just a game that is, I think, really, really treasured by a lot of gamers, and I feel like it definitely deserves its own remake. The next game I want to talk about is Red Dead Redemption, the original Red Dead Redemption, yes. And man, Red Dead Redemption is such a great game. I remember picking this one up and just absolutely loving it. I put in so many hours. You have this big, beautiful open world. I think this was one of my first ever open world games that I actually played. They did an even better job with Red Dead Redemption 2, and that game is just amazing. That's probably one of my favorite games of all time, but it would be amazing to go back and play this original game, especially on PC. And I just found out not too long ago that this game was never released on PC. I always just assumed that Red Dead Redemption was released on PC, but no, it's only released for the 360 and the PS3, which I was really surprised by. And this is just another one where I feel like a new coat of paint on it would be really nice to see, just some updated graphics, and released for PC and modern consoles. I feel like it would be really cool to bring this game alongside Red Dead Redemption 2. The next game I want to talk about is Ico. Ico I've never played, but watching the gameplay, it looks like a really great game, and I'm a really big fan of the developer's previous work like The Last Guardian and Shadow of the Colossus. I think Shadow of the Colossus is another one of those games where it's just really high up on my list of some of my favorite games that I've played, and I also really like The Last Guardian, and you really see the influence that this game had on The Last Guardian, where you have puzzle platforming and you have to help out your partner get across to the next area, and the combat looks good too, and I really like the art design of this game, and it would be really great to see this game come to modern consoles and PC, and it would just be really fun. It would be a really great time to play this game. Obviously, I do collect games, so I might as well go back and play it on the original, and I'll probably just pick it up on the PS3 or something, but I would love for my first time to play this game to be a remake, and I know this one is a popular one by many gamers, and it would be great to see this game come back. The next game I want to talk about is Zelda Ocarina of Time. Zelda Ocarina of Time was my first Zelda game, and I absolutely love this game. I tried replaying it back on my 3DS about 4 or 5 months ago, and let me tell you, the graphics are so outdated, so it's so hard for me to go back sometimes to these older games and play through them. I'm just looking at the overall art design and the graphics. I'm like, man, we have literally Tears of the Kingdom now and Breath of the Wild, and these games look amazing, right? They look great for what the Switch can do, and yeah, it's just like going back and playing these games. It's like it's really tough to look at them. It's the only thing I can really complain about is just the graphics, the art design. It would be so cool to see Ocarina of Time get a new art design, just like how Link's Awakening did, man. Like, I would love to see this game come back and get a remake. I think it would be awesome. This is one of my favorite Zelda games growing up as a kid, and it's my first one. And I also love Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask would be another great one to see get remade as well. And yeah, I really would love to see Nintendo bring these games back. The next is the Devil May Cry series, actually. So I recently just purchased Devil May Cry 5, but I've never really played any of the other Devil May Cry games. I remember maybe 5 years ago on the PS4, I tried getting into Devil May Cry 4, but I just couldn't really ever get into it. But it was really weird because I really like these hack and slash kind of games. And so I really want to get into the Devil May Cry series, the franchise, but I don't really know where to start. So I just said, fuck it, and I bought Devil May Cry 5. So now it's on my list of games I want to play, and that's probably going to be my first Devil May Cry game. But it would be awesome to go back and replay all of the previous Devil May Cry games. I feel like it would be awesome to see these games get new updated graphics. And I was also reading that sometimes there's some camera issues, and it would be really nice to see this game just fully remastered, and it would be awesome to see it get the remake treatment. The next game I want to talk about is Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4 was my first ever Grand Theft Auto, and I definitely think this game deserves a remake. It has a beautiful open world. Just exploring Liberty City was such a fun time, and you also have a great protagonist, Nico. And I remember playing a lot of this game, and I really liked the story. I also had a really great time playing the multiplayer with my friends. We used to do the racing a lot, and we had a handful of maps that we always used to play. I remember there was one, I think there was like a Times Square map that we used to race on a ton, and that was a fun time. And I know that Rockstar did a remake or a remaster for the original trilogy of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, but from what I know, those remakes aren't really the greatest, but I might go back and check on them and see if they've been updated or not. Hopefully, if Rockstar does do a remake or a remaster, they do it personally, because those games were outsourced. They were third party. They were done by a third party. And yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4 definitely deserves it. It's a classic, and I would love to replay it. But yeah, that's my list for games that I think deserve a remake. These are just games that I found were some of my favorites growing up, and that I would just love to see get a newer coat of paint or better controls, or just touched up a bit and put on modern consoles. I feel like they definitely deserve it. They're great games. And then the ones that I haven't played, like Ico and Devil May Cry, I would love to see those games get remade as well, because I've never played them, and sometimes it's hard to play older games, especially looking at them visually, or sometimes the gameplay isn't up to par anymore. So it would be awesome to see all of these games get remade. They definitely deserve it. I love them. Let me know, what is your game? Let me know down in the comments below, what games do you think deserve to be remade, and do you agree with this list? And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hit a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe for more gaming commentaries like this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.